Straw Hut Media.
Hello on the Rockers. We are wine tasting live with the founders of Gentleman Farmer Wines, Joe Wolsz and Jeffrey Durham, and our guest, the patron saint of men's underwear, Andrew Christian, founder of Andrew Christian International, and our designated driver tonight, believe it or not, or is he? It's MTV's bad boy, Mike Mulderrig from Lindsay Lohan's Beach Club, X on the Beach, and All-Star Shore, with me, your favorite host with the sassy most. Raise a glass and let the vino begin. It's on the rocks. Well, today it's on the grapes.
Thank you for being
Boulevard.
Life is a banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death.
I'd like to propose a toast.
This is On the Rocks with Alexander, where I drink with your favorite celebrities as we talk about fashion, entertainment, pop culture, reality TV, and, well, that's about it. So pop a cork, lean back, and raise a glass to On the Rocks.
fasten your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Lord have mercy. Buns and bows and pantyhose On the Rocks podcast, a place where we're too glam to give a damn. Coming at you live from UBN Go Studios. Tony, play the video behind me. It looks like I'm frozen in action. There we go. Can't find any good white help these days. Like, it's impossible. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at On the Rocks on Air, and on Facebook, On the Rocks Radio Show. Send me an email. Book me for a pride, wedding, funeral, quinceañera, bris. I don't care. I will be there. Also, send us your comments, guest requests, guest questions at info@ontherocksradioshow.com. By the way, we're doing a little hot topics today, and I got your questions. Y'all are hung up on some stuff, so we're going to talk about that. The show is presented by Straw Hut Media. You can watch and or listen to our now over 320 episodes at ontherocksradioshow.com. You can watch us on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, on the Auto.tv app, Facebook Watch, streaming with Pride on SVTV, and on Channel 31 on the East Coast. All right, let's get the show on the road. Our hosts for this evening are dapper duo Joe Wolsz and Jeffrey Durham. Nestled in the arms of Napa Valley lies Gentleman Farmer Wines, a boutique winery emphasizing elegance and offering a return to the old world-inspired art of winemaking. Jeff Durham and Joe Wolsz, the founders and husbands behind the winery, exude that air of classic gentlemanly finery, complete with vintage looks, with a modern flair, by the way. Making waves in the Napa Valley, their empire is only growing with a bungalow and a guest house on the way. The two seem destined to come together and create this vintage experience. Both of them hold degrees in hotel and restaurant management, share an aesthetic sense, and have wined ingrained in their past, and they're both power verses. Please welcome Jeff Durham and Joe Wolsz. That was one of the questions I got. Are they power verses? Because you both seem like so manly with like the beards and rustic and all of that.
And all the wood in the house.
Yeah.
I get it.
A lot of wood in the house.
Yeah. Your PR rep is like shitting herself. She's like, oh God, what's happening? Okay, before we get pouring with our guests, we're doing 3 tastings today. Tell us what sets Gentleman Farmer Wines apart from the other wineries. And I know it's such a cheesy, cliche question, but you guys have a very definite, hefty kind of brand.
You know, for the most part, everybody's making good wine in Napa Valley. When you come up, though, we prefer not to do a tasting, but to do a lunch and to have the wine in context of food. I know that doesn't sound revolutionary.
Food with anything is fine for me. Food with a bathtub, food on a date, like food in the bedroom, whatever.
But a lot of people come to Napa and have wine as a cocktail, meaning you're going to go sit on the balcony and watch the sunset and have a glass of wine, which is totally legit. But we like to think of food as a condiment, how it pairs with, or wine as a condiment, how it pairs with food at the table. So we have gotten into this pattern of serving lunch rather than doing a tasting. We went to Bordeaux in 2017 for my 50th, and we went to Bordeaux with a recommendation from a friend in Napa to go visit the chateau. And I called the lady on our way, and it was a noon appointment, and I said, we're on our way, we'll be there in such and such time. And she said, will you have had lunch? And I said, no, we haven't even thought about lunch. She said, oh, come stay for lunch. So we went to the chateau, and we went around back, and we went to her home, and we had lunch with her kids, and they had a pool, and we had rosé, and she made some tarts and stuff. And we spent about an hour, and then she sent us on a merry way to go taste in the chateau. So I thought that was a crazy experience. So we wanted to bring that to Napa Valley and do that in Napa Valley. And so we're building a space downtown Napa. I'll let Jeff tell you a little bit about that. But this is where we can continue that experience.
And it's like it's one of the oldest buildings in Napa. It's a historic building.
So the bungalow by Gentleman Farmer, a studio for gustatory well-being. is a 1926 Craftsman bungalow on First Street in Napa. The building next door that we purchased this year is an 1888 Victorian, which will soon be the Gentleman Farmer Guest House, where you'll get to stay and even experience more hospitality from Gentleman Farmer Wines.
You better get a big deposit on my debit card when I check in. That's all I got to say. Are you kidding? That's like right up my alley. But talk a little bit about kind of the vintage flair that you have for the label.
So we're going to taste through 3 wines, and we actually just harvested Chardonnay today. And the best way to start, although we did start this project with the intent to make Napa Valley Cabernet in 2005, the Chardonnay we're getting 3 miles south of Yountville, a place called the Murhanna Vineyard, and we're making what's called a French approach. I say approach rather than style because in Burgundy it's a cool continental climate. Napa has Mediterranean sunshine, so we're going to get ripe fruit every year, but the approach is the same. So it's all barrel fermented. It is French oak barrel, 50% is new, so there's still purity of fruit. So it's not a typical Napa style if there is a Napa style. We do block at secondary fermentation, which is the one responsible for that butter character. So the oak and butter that Napa is maybe sometimes known for, and it's not everywhere. It's just kind of become its reputation, maybe unjustly, is not this wine. And so we're trying to come from this purity of fruit, this more restraint side, focused on acidity and structure and the reds, how it pairs at the table. Acidity is good for pairing wine at the table.
And the vintage look on the labels is all of Joe's work. Joe's grandmother on his father's side came through Ellis Island, and one of her first jobs was at a cigar factory in Manhattan. So as you look there, you can see the looks of a cigar band. We love a story. We love connection to our families and to history, and it starts on the label of the bottle.
I absolutely love that. And you gentlemen, like I've seen you. I saw you at Equality. Yep, that's a cigar label.
Thank you.
I saw you at Equality Wine Fest, and like the way you dressed, the way you presented yourself was very old school with this modern flair, which I think, we see so many wines with like the crazy labels, and every celebrity has their wine, and it's like, okay, let's go back to old school where like you sit and enjoy the wine and you get off your phone and you enjoy all the senses.
To speak to what Joe was saying earlier about having lunch, we want you to enjoy the wine like you're going to enjoy it at home with friends, with food, possibly with family, having a good time. It's not, believe me, the lunches we serve are not precious. It's a full meal. You will leave fully happy on many levels. We serve family recipes. We serve things we like. Yes.
No, I was just going to say, I'm sure your audience might like this, but during Pride Month, I forgot what magazine it was, but it was the five Pride wines, and we came in number 1. Kylie came in number 3.
Oh my Lord!
I love you bringing that up.
That's like your person. You're like, Now you started in 2005 with 80 cases. Now you do about 1,000 cases per year. What did you learn that first year of putting out a vintage? Like, what did you learn most about?
I learned that Joey does not understand a budget nor financials. Honey, what'd you learn?
Winery accounting is super difficult. I was a math major at one time. But laugh. But it's crazy. It's so different from what you would expect when you can take an expense and when you can't. So it takes 3 years pretty much to make a red wine. It's 2 to 3 years in barrel, and you cannot take the expense of those grapes until it hits the market. So
I would have no clue about that. That's insane.
So 1 year you have grapes you just purchased. You have that money is gone. You don't have it. And you think, oh, I can write that off, but you can't. And the next year you have to buy those grapes again. So you just spent that twice. You can't write it off. Third year, you just spend it again. You can't write it off. Then it gets to market. Then you can take the first year off. So.
And what's your favorite saying? We did not make money in tech. So this is our full work.
No, there's a lot of people that made money in high tech or medical devices or whatever. That is not our story. Ooh. There's a lot of those stories out there. We bootstrapped this. Back in the recession, I actually sold my watch to pay for grapes.
He sold my fucking watch.
I went to the city, I sold my watch, and I called Jeff and I said, I need your watch. I don't have enough money.
Mine went up in value. How'd yours do?
So Anyway, it was a tough road, but we still have all our fingers, all our toes.
Just not a watch. Okay.
Just not a watch. Yeah,
But you'll buy one again. Yeah, you'll buy it again. All right, let's get this party on the road. Let's welcome our guest for today. Andrew Christian, no stranger to On the Rocks or alcohol, is the founder of a highly successful men's underwear, swimwear, and sportswear line based in Los Angeles. The iconic line is sold in hundreds of stores around the world. He's been featured in numerous fashion publications as well as on Good Morning America, Fox News, Entertainment Tonight, ABC World News with Diane Sawyer, and MSNBC's Hardball. Is one of the fastest growing companies in the USA. He's also appeared on reality TV, anywhere from Drag Race to Millionaire Matchmaker. You never know where he's going to pop up at Pride or LGBTQ events literally around the world. And his trophy boys are always with him. They're always causing trouble. I know many of them. We're going to talk about those trophy boys. This past year, his underwear line has driven an emphasis on diversity and inclusivity. Yeah. How did that go? Well, we're going to find out. Please welcome Andrew Christian.
Hey.
Hey, welcome back,
I'm so excited we get to taste wine today.
I know.
Usually we're just chugging vodka.
Literally, like Dennis, like, I like underwear.
I feel like a little classy now.
It is classy. Now, is wine just for classy people?
Oh.
No, wine is every day.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of which, Mike Mulderrig, making his return to On the Rocks. Please welcome MTV personality Mike Mulderrig from X on the Beach, All Star Shore, and Lindsay Lohan's Beach Club. In addition to his time on reality TV, he's also a thriving YouTuber running his channel Mike MGTV, as well as co-host the popular podcast Messy Pod. His TikTok is fire. His Instagram is fire. His Grindr is fire. Please welcome back Mike Mulderrig.
Look at that face tune. Oh my
Look at
God.
that. Look at that.
I wore these glasses for you guys today. He said they were business people.
Yeah.
This is me trying. I swear to God. I'm like, I'm going to show up looking smart. Someone called me a WeHo Boy parody the other day as an insult, and I thought that was the funniest thing in the
Was it
world.
Bobby Trendy?
I don't know who they were.
Yeah.
But
Well,
they're
nobody knows who Bobby
right.
Trendy is anymore.
They are so right.
Literally.
Literally. Okay, before we do our first pour, I do have to say, Mike, you are our designated driver tonight, kind of. Known as the bad boy of reality TV, and your bartending and drinking experience, you're cutting it back. How is that possible? What is happening?
I'm drinking a lot.
Join
I don't
the
like to
club.
go. I don't like to go out anymore because my job. At first, it was bartending, and then I'm bartending alone, and then I'm reacting to alcohol products. And like sometimes I need to bulk film. Like for example, last night I had a bunch of brands come in. I had to literally film, edit, and rush. I had to submit everything by this morning. So I hope I don't look tired because I tried very hard not to. But come on, that's when you're supposed to say.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You look amazing.
But it's a lot of drinking. It's like sometimes if I have stuff to do later in the day, if I have to film 3 videos and I'm binge drinking and I'm wasted by noon.
Yeah.
That's and like people will be like, just fake it. Like no,
No,
And lately
people
I've
know.
had to, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's like on the rocks on the show. Whenever we go, like whenever we go somewhere, it's like, oh, drinks, because it's on the rocks, and it doesn't always go so well, right, Andrew? Andrew has seen me at my best and my worst, and then my worst again.
Yeah.
But I also want to mention for our sober audience, we love you too. This month is National Recovery Month, and our sober community, many of who we've actually had on the show, they're getting a bigger voice, and the stigma of being sober and being able to party with the rest of us is going away. So that is great. And for our LGBTQ community, I can recommend Rainbow Hill Recovery. It's one of the first centers in sober living that is dedicated just to our LGBTQ community. So if you need those services, or if somebody need those services, we might need those services after today, go to rainbowhillrecovery.org. But you are sipping just a little, just because you have this expertise.
Sipping's not drinking.
How is that not drinking? Is that like Demi Lovato's California sober?
If it doesn't affect my tolerance by now, if it doesn't affect me, it's not drinking.
If you don't swallow, it doesn't count.
Work.
I've heard that in
That's
so
the
many
gay
ways.
Bible.
Okay, so our first tasting, what is it that we are going to taste first?
We are going to taste Napa Valley Rosé. This is a rosé of Pinot Noir. It is 95% Pinot Noir from Carneros region, a little bit of Pinot Meunier, about 2%, and then that splash of color is a 3% Merlot bleed. So when we make the Merlot, we actually bleed some off to get a higher skin to juice ratio for color. And we take that bleed and toss a little into here to get that nice rosato color.
Okay, and how much should I be pouring for a sip? I mean, for like a sample, like to taste.
We brought these
good?
bottles for you guys, so.
No, but I mean, like what's a normal, like
2 ounce.
2 ounce? Okay, but this is on the rocks, so okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, rosé, is it something that you can drink in the morning?
Yes,
Oh,
we have
definitely.
wine club members who live down the street, and she always sends me photographs of her drinking rosé in the hot tub at 8 a.m.
I hope she's clothed. I'll send you pictures later of me in the bathtub with this rosé. I do love the rosé, and I tasted it at the Equality Wine Fest because it was like 115 in Palm Springs, and this was just so crisp and refreshing.
That was fresh.
And what is the proper way to taste wine? So everybody, get your glass. You know, we see on TV, and then you're supposed to swirl and sniff and do a line or something. Like, what's the proper way to taste?
So a proper way to taste, there's no proper way, but if you want to do like the systematic approach to tasting, you would look at it, first of all, and check the clarity.
There you go.
All right. And the color, and just make notes of it. Maybe check the viscosity when you swirl it. When you would check the nose, you're checking for intensity of fruit. What fruit aromas are you getting? But first of all, you're checking to see if there's any faults, which I checked these before, so there's no fault.
No, like what would be a fault, and what's a good viscosity?
There's no good viscosity. And the viscosity doesn't tell you much. It just gives you one clue if you're doing a blind tasting.
Okay.
But the fault would be corkiness. So if it smells like wet cardboard, that's bad.
Okay, and then I just take a little sip to begin with, or I take a gulp to get it?
First of all, you take a good sniff, and you're going to check for intensity of fruit and what aromas are you getting.
Now, this is very bright, but it's not too bright, and it doesn't smell too sweet. I don't like when a wine is like too sweet, but it is bright.
Bright, okay.
Can you train yourself to like taste notes
Yes.
better? How? Because I've been lying a lot. I swear to
So
God.
you just keep tasting. You can join a tasting group, which is very
Please.
very smart.
I'm here to learn.
And there's actually a great organization, WSET, the Wine and Spirit Education Trust, that you can take classes. They have them here in Los Angeles, I'm sure. I did mine a long time ago over like 2 weekends, but these sometimes just space it out over 8 weeks on Tuesday nights or something. But yeah, they'll walk you through how to pick it out.
You need to constantly do it to get it in your head. You have to have that muscle memory in your brain.
Got it.
So that you I'm not good at it because we've got plenty of tequila in the house. So
You have to practice to get better. It's like bottoming.
But, so
I learned.
That's a new label. Mike Mulderrig's bottoming wine. So, like, Andrew, what do you pick up from?
I'm getting notes of wine.
Yeah, there you go.
very good.
What kind of notes should be springing out from?
Wait, don't tell me.
a
Let me
wine?
guess. I'm going to guess.
Yeah, okay.
Hold on. This is my job.
It's so smooth.
Strawberry, citrus, like lemon, and there's like an herb, maybe. So like because the bitterness almost, it would be like an herb, like a fresh bitterness.
So there's a bitterness of I get like grapefruit pith,
Yes.
watermelon.
Okay. See, now that you say it, this is my problem. Like
But that's the practicing and the experience. He says that it goes in one ear, right out the other when he says it to me. For you take it in and you want to experience and remember it, and that's exactly what you do.
As a vintner, should you really be admitting this on radio?
No, I said
nothing.
when you talk to me. I serve the fucking meals. I don't make the wine.
So what you're saying is you have to drink a lot of wine.
Or taste a lot of wine. You don't have to swallow.
Swallow with
What's so
Bob.
fun then?
So, Andrew, like, what kind of wines are you drinking? Because when you and I go out, we're hitting the hardcore stuff. I've never seen you drink wine.
you don't drink wine.
Oh, I
when you
drink
go
wine.
out.
I just went wine tasting in
Yeah,
up
you were
north.
you were at Camus in Sassoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Memorial Day weekend we saw.
I was there.
We were stalking.
A lot of people do, girl. So, like, what kind of wines do you drink?
I like
What's
whites.
your go-to? Yeah.
My go-to is Chardonnay, but I like Sauvignon Blancs, and I'm just barely starting to get into reds.
So Chardonnays to me have always been so buttery. I just don't like the taste of them. And I have been the staunch no red wine, and as much as I drink, if it's the only bottle left, I won't drink it. I just don't. I haven't appreciated red wine, and I just don't like it.
Do you have a favorite region?
No.
I learned that's the
Trader
thing to
Joe's
ask.
aisle 9 is my region.
Very good.
I
Good
love
place.
buttery. Does that mean I'm like not sophisticated?
No.
No,
It's,
there's many styles. There's many ideas. Joey, who is Chardonnay?
so Chardonnay is the girl that got along with everyone in high school.
Yes.
So Chardonnay, like there's grape varietals like Sauvignon Blanc, or Riesling Gewürztraminer. These are very aromatic varietals. They have hallmarks, like Sauvignon Blanc gooseberry is a hallmark. When you smell gooseberry, you're pretty sure that's a Sauvignon Blanc. Chardonnay is a blank canvas. So the primary fruit aroma is gooseberry for Sauvignon Blanc, the fruit aromas that come from the grape. Secondary aromas are anything the winemaker does to intervene. So put it in oak, go through malolactic fermentation, which will give you butter. Block malolactic fermentation, which will stop the butter. Put it in oak, put it in stainless steel. No wood influence. It just depends. So she grows in every soil. She grows in every climate for the most part. So it's all about winemaker intervention. So this one does not have butter notes, but I have a friend who worked for a winery in Napa Valley that got 100-point scores. And she loved Rombauer and she loved butter and oak unapologetically.
It's just like too much for me. It's just like, rah, 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 rah. Okay, we're going to hold off on that second tasting because I have a few questions. So what do you guys think? Is this something you would drink at breakfast?
I would drink it at brunch, and I like that it's like not too sweet.
Yeah, that's what I really like. Is this like a good after dinner drink too? Because it's almost like a dessert, or no?
I circle back to it when we're doing a lunch. This one's got a serious sweet tooth, so we serve like 3 or 4 desserts at the lunch. So we circle back to the rosé for because it goes perfect with a lot of bright fruits, like he was saying.
Now, Mike, on your channel, you do a thing where you can tell where you say, oh, this cocktail means you're a top, you're a bottom, you're a power bottom, whatever.
No, I could tell what you're like in bed based on your favorite cocktail choice.
So what is your impression about like what you choose to drink wine, whether you're doing rosé or Chardonnay?
You're bossy. You're bossy because you like the finer things in life and you're not going to accept anything else.
No, but like within the wine family, like a Chardonnay, what are you? A rosé, you are.
That is a lot. Hold on. I would say which is a white wine, rosé, red wine.
So this is
because there's a lot of different wines.
Yeah, so
it's
like
making my job
this
harder.
is the rosé, and now rosé kind of has a bad rap. It's like, oh well, that's the girly drink, like right?
No, I feel like rosé would be posh.
I've always when I get rosé, I'm like, oh, I want rosé because I'm always like,
I feel like rosé is a slut.
Ooh. Oh, because it goes with everything.
Gay.
Oh yeah.
It's interesting because when we did the wine pouring where we met you at Equality,
I had like 6
pouring in
glasses
Palm Springs.
of rosé, by the way.
It was interesting because the rosé that someone was interested in buying was the straight guy who came to the table and he bought a case.
That's interesting.
So it's interesting.
I would say out of the 3, the red wine is the worst. I don't know what it is about.
Well, and because of Real Housewives of like New York, like
don't even say Bethany Frankel's fucking name.
No, Ramona. We are going to talk about that later, though. But like Ramona, she came up with her Pinot Grigio. So Pinot Grigio got this rap that it's for fussy women, and it's
turtle time.
Yeah, turtle time. In fact, I went to her wine signing. In fact, I still have her bottle. She was so rude.
Ramona rude.
Well, she was there for her wines, and nobody there was not a long line.
Oh, a housewife product.
And the wine was not good. But Pinot Grigio got this kind of like fussy thing. Pinot Grigio is what I will drink. That's my first wine, like wherever I go. If it's not morning, it's a Pinot Grigio. Because it's a good mix, right? Of the other stuff. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, but you can't like make that designation. So for cocktails.
I can make the designation, but there's like, if it's rosé, red wine, or white. But if you want to get intricate, because there's like so many variations in there. And I got to tell you, like cocktails I know. Wine, I know less. Beer, I don't know.
So what's a power bottom cocktail?
A power bottom cocktail?
Like you're like, oh,
the Cosmo. No, Cosmo's a retired power bottom.
Yeah. So it's like now we're in and just like that.
Sex on the beach. Something stupid like Sex on the Beach.
Okay.
Malibu pineapple, and you're like a 24-year-old boy.
Yeah.
And then, or like something annoying, like anything with Midori sour as an adult.
So what's like a classy gentleman drink, since we have gentleman farmer wines? Like if somebody orders a certain drink, you're like, that's a classy person without having to blast that they're classy. It's just like a good
old-fashioned
drink.
Old-fashioned, man. I would say a whiskey cocktail. Scotch is a little like, calm down.
Yeah.
You're a lot. My favorite whiskey cocktail, I used to make it. It was called the cleanse? So it was based on a cleanse. It's basically you made a syrup with maple syrup, cayenne pepper, lemon, boiled it, chilled it, and then we would shake it with Woodford whiskey. Oh. So it was like a spicy, citrus, sweet whiskey cocktail, and that's what turned me on. It is my favorite cocktail.
But doesn't it make you like shit your pants?
Hopefully.
While you're drinking a cocktail?
Not while you're drinking.
Well, sometimes.
Get control of your bowels, girl.
That's funny. Okay. So how often are you drinking your own wines? Is there always a bottle open at your personal table?
We host a lot.
Can you pass the bottle, please, by the way? Mr. Sippers are like hoarding it. Or
Like, are you guys drinking every night? Basically, are you drinking
Who
wine
does
every
I
night?
feel fucking called out. What the hell was that?
Well, no,
tone?
because you have to be on top of what other wineries are doing. You have to make sure that every bottle of yours is like quality control.
So our dirty secret is we never go wine tasting. We rarely go wine tasting. Now that we're opening up the space downtown Napa,
We will
we're starting
more
to
to
go
see what others
more
are
of wine
doing, but-
tasting.
Okay, all right. So,
But yes, we do.
But
We do
yes,
drink
we
a lot
do.
of our own wine because we're hosting a lot during the week, and so we're
for
always
the
open.
tastings.
They're not tastings.
There's lunch.
Sorry, lunches, but not. You're not hosting anything else.
No, because we're so tired.
No, I'm Are you hosting? I'm hosting with wine. This guy's so like nice and
I'm slow in the
innocent.
upkeep.
Now, both of you are husbands, but the label is not, and this is not to put any other wines down, but it's not like pride flag, glitter on the bottle, like, hey, girl, wine.
Good question.
Your wine is for everyone, and that's what you've said. You know, it really is accessible to all walks of life, and that's even class-wise, racially, what have you. But was there ever a conversation starting out that maybe we should do a gay wine because we can go after a genre, we can go after a certain market that we have a built-in audience? Was that ever a conversation? Or have you felt the need to make the wine butcher?
Butcher. The wine.
I've seen you play the clarinet, okay? Like, let's not get crazy.
We actually, to be honest, we never wanted to be the gay wine. We didn't want to be pigeonholed or put it into a box and just have that be the box. Now, and we have grown a lot since 2005, personally and professionally, that we feel that we have an opportunity to be a voice. We have an opportunity to give back. We have an opportunity to participate. And being gay is part of who we are, as well as being a winemaker, being a vintner. And we can incorporate those in and be a part of the gay community and own it as well and be representative of who we are. We live in a very small community of 1,100 people called Johnville in Napa Valley. And we raised the pride flag when I was on the town council a couple of years ago for the first time.
We have a picture. Wait, a picture of it. But yeah, I mean.
So we raised the pride flag, and for me, it was very important to do that because we were next door to the school. Visibility is.
You requested to raise the flag.
There you go.
There you go.
So we raised the pride flag every year. It was next to the school, which now unfortunately closed, but it was an opportunity to be present for those school kids. Yountville just had its first gay pride events this year.
Oh, how
it was
fun.
hugely successful. So we have an opportunity to be the gay winery along with everything else that we do.
Now, you guys have received a lot of press. Now, from what I assume, the wine culture can be a little fussy. Did you ever feel like you needed to play down the relationship aspect, or you needed to come in? Like, because you guys dress, and I don't mean to use the word, but you dress pretty butchly, passable, which I know is a term we hate in our community, but that's part of it.
A lot has changed in society since 2005 when we started this. And
Can you say it was 18 years ago? Like, 2005 just seems like so recent.
Yeah. It's funny because I was reading one of those like magazines, and people were wearing the earbuds with the cords to the phone, and the kids call that retro rather than wearing the pods.
Yeah.
And it's like, I still have those. No, but everything's changed since 2005. And in 2005, some people had approached us and said, you should go after and be this rainbow wine. And I didn't want to. I just wanted to make some wine. And now that things have changed a bit and we can get married, and that shifted a lot. That shifted a lot in just mentality. And with press, and especially with Pride Month, and getting all this press about being this LGBT. We were the billed, I don't know if it's true, but we were billed as the only LGBTQ owned winery in the Napa Valley until recently. Now we're the first LGBTQ
We've
owned
met two other
winery, because now
we've
there's
met
another
two other
couple.
businesses. Yeah.
I mean, there's some gay winemakers, Teresa Heredia, Gary Farrell, and then there's some people outside of Napa Valley that have their wineries. But it's a very small community. And when we were when people would do Google searches, it was the same, like 5 of us that kept coming up. And now there's a bit more coming up. And Napa Valley is starting to become about inclusion, especially with the BIPOC issues. They're trying to have this thing called Napa Roots. I think I'm getting a little off topic here, but I think now everything has shifted, that there's much more of a comfort level in saying, okay, we've made it to a level here. Now we can give back.
What I loved about the Equality Wine Fest is we saw Black-owned wineries. We saw women-owned wineries. And so that conversation is having, because it's typically winery, you think of, it's a man's world with the cigars and, checking the barrels.
It's
still very much that way in Napa Valley as well. It's very much that
agriculture. It's agriculture. It's conservative, white male dominant. So, yeah.
That was fresh.
So, Jeffrey and Joe, I've never met anybody who started their own winery. It seems like a daunting task. Like, what were the challenges in starting a winery from zero? Or what were the things you learned that you didn't know?
Okay, I have goosebumps. You just asked me that question. If we would have known what we had to go through to do it when we started, we probably wouldn't have done it. Wow. I would say that. We just barreled through it. We're still barreling through it.
Yeah.
We're also 100% in now. We sold the hotel in April that we had in Humboldt County, and we're both focused 100% on the wine and what we can do with that and what it means to us. And to be honest, we went to school for hotel restaurant management. To me, this winery is an extension of the hotel. It's about hospitality. It's about interacting with people. It's about relationships. And it's interesting looking back. I was born and raised in Napa. I just assumed we'd fucking make wine. But my parents had a small amount of vineyards that they planted when I was growing up. It was always around me. It was always a part of my life. And I thought we were fortunate to even enough to be able to do it. And now we're making it our life and who we are, and we're actually enjoying it.
Yeah, I get to tell people my life is a vacation right now.
But what was your inspiration? It's like, were you guys drunk one night and be like, let's start a winery?
No, we both went to Cal Poly Pomona down here for hotel restaurant management, and that's a whole other long story. The long story of you taking 8 years to graduate? That's the fucking long story. I was busy.
I know, but also
he was busy hosting.
Yeah,
wink, wink.
I want to touch on the fact that in 1999 we did make a barrel of wine, but that was a disaster
in a friend's garage in St. Helena.
Yeah.
But I was in a cooking program at Cal Poly back in 1989. I'm giving my age away, and I got my first 2 winery jobs back then. And after that, during the 90s, I took a series of extension courses at Davis. So I kind of kept it in my head. And doing the things that we were doing to make a living back then, I realized that we were just getting further and further away from what I really wanted to do with my life. And I think his too. And so I said in 2005, I can't do this anymore. I want to make some wine. And so we started this project with another partner at the time. And rest is history, I guess.
To shift the conversation, talking about inclusivity, Andrew, I was talking about how your underwear line has really focused on inclusivity. Thick was a line. You came out with 2XL. You also have underwear for people who tuck. And this all has happened in the last year. In fact, there's the Thick campaign. What was your call to action to do that? Because here's the reality. Everybody says, you should be more inclusive and attack. You don't realize the cost involved, that sometimes it's not feasible for a business to become inclusive. If you make a specific type of brand that can't sustain itself, it can affect the whole company. So the whole company goes bankrupt. That's some of the harsh reality I'm sure you had to deal with.
And we actually just released a pair of packing underwear with a packer.
What does that mean?
For trans men.
What's a packer? Oh, it's like a faulty one?
Yeah.
Oh, I know some exes who need a packer. But what was your call to action? Because it's not the most economically friendly choice to do.
I think it was about time. We tried to do it years ago. We tried to do 2XL, and the inventory just sat there. It didn't move. And we sat on it for years. And so we're last year we introduced 2XL, and people were buying it.
COVID. No kidding, COVID. COVID affected the whole community.
And I think it's a change. I think people are okay being a bigger size and being fashionable and stylish. I think
we're seeing it on TV. We're seeing it on screen.
Whereas before people thought, oh, well, I'm big. I can't look like this. I can't dress like this.
I can't have a career. I can't date. I can't,
I think it's a societal change. And then the success of doing 2XL, that's why I decided to make thick underwear, which was not just bigger sized. It's actually fit for bigger guys.
Big thighs, big butts, which I'm a fan of.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, you need some thick underwear.
Listen, I don't have to talk. I'm just here.
But some of the reality is you launched these campaigns and people still came to attack. And it's like damned if you do and damned if you don't. How does that make you feel as a business owner? You're like, I worked so hard to put this together for this group in the community, and you still have a problem with it?
You know what? At least they're talking about it at the end of the day. And there is no other gay company out there that's doing what I'm doing. So put up or shut up.
Yeah.
Okay. All
The only
right.
time you ever got to worry is when people aren't talking.
Exactly.
That's it.
And I do a lot of like gay prides around the US, and I've had people come up to me and like thank me for doing it.
Yeah.
Like genuinely be happy that like we're doing this now.
And part of that, like, Mike, what we're talking about, do you know how many questions I still got about your sexuality, which is still from Lindsay Lohan's Beach Club, how many years ago? People are still focused on your sexuality and who you're dating. Why?
I'm afraid to talk about it because every time I do, they tell me to shut up. They're like, "Oh, he won't stop talking about it," even though I
but
get
talk
asked.
about it. Like, this is...
I don't know. It
like,
changes.
all the questions I got, I was like, okay, guys.
It
like,
changes all the time. Listen, I give bottom energy and I get it. And people are confused in bed when I try to flip them over. So, like, at this point, like, I mean, I've only ever had romantic feelings for a woman, unfortunately. I don't know why.
That the physical component is not there.
Physical has tended to be more towards men while I've been in West Hollywood. But I think that's because I'm completely immersed in the gay lifestyle. I don't think I would ever have a chance to be with a girl out here. If I ever dated a girl with sounding like this, I would get made fun of and she would get made fun of. It would never work.
Do you know how many girls, though, are like, oh, God, I love him, blah, blah, blah,
They
blah.
want it now.
Yeah.
Girls want to get penetrated by a guy while the guy's getting penetrated. It's all over TikTok.
It's
and
like
I'm like,
reverse
yes,
pegging. It's so weird.
that's what I want. That's what I want.
Making underwear for peggers. Like do that.
Yes.
I actually did. It's coming out soon.
Are you lying?
No.
You're lying.
I'm not lying.
You're so lying.
I'm not. It's got a little hole there.
Oh my God.
Or you could
really
put a little
inclusive.
ponytail butt plug in there. Or...
Oh, okay.
I love this.
Got you. So, but Mike, with the focus like on your body that people still have,
Body.
Yeah.
It's changed a lot. I stopped caring. I know. I just look at this. No, but like
So many selfies. No, come on. Like,
What do you
it
mean
is not gonna be
selfies?
like-
What is selfies?
You have a lot of shirtless selfies, but I want to talk a little bit like the body image part of that. Like,
That's part
you
of
work
marketing.
hard on your body.
That is part
right?
of marketing. You got to look good to get in the door, but you have to be interesting enough to stay.
100%.
And that's the part. People that rely on the looks and think like, "Oh, I'm pretty, I'm going to be fine." No, you got to do something while you're there. It's a strategy.
Well-
Anyone can be good. Anyone can be good looking. It's work. Look at me right now. I didn't sleep. I haven't slept in almost a long time.
So you think
And
Sarah
I got it
Huckabee could
together.
be good looking?
I got it together.
You think
What?
Sarah Huckabee could be good
I
looking?
don't even know who that is. So apparently she's not good enough.
Girl. But Andrew, you've had this with models as well. They come in, they get all the fame, and they're really popular for a hot minute, and then they act a hot mess. They don't know the business side. They get the ego, and then it's like, where did they go?
You got to do something.
Well, people forget about them after we drop them.
But like, do something with it. You're so like, while you're there and you have all that. It's if you're on a show, if you have a song that's a hit, while you have all that attention, do something with it. I want to know a secret. I'm like not a good bartender, like at all. At all.
You're giving away like all your secrets.
No,
tonight,
I
and
say.
you're not even like drinking.
I say
don't
this.
believe
I
it.
swear to God. Listen, I'm good, but I'm no better than any other bartender in West Hollywood. The only difference is I made a video, and I did it again. And I did it again.
But
I'm
people
good
love
at
the comedy
marketing.
behind it too. It's not just
Yes.
I'm a good bartender. It's the
Yes.
comedy. It's your opinions because you are very opinionated.
I use bartending as a medium for comedy. But like people want me to react to people making these beautiful cocktails. And meanwhile, when I make it, it's in a plastic cup with whatever like ice was in my freezer. And like it's cut raw. Like I'm making it in my house, not at a bar. So I have a lot of nerve to be like, you suck. And here's mine. You know what I mean? So I'm just very honest about that kind of stuff.
I think people relate to that. They can like
Yeah.
connect with that.
So like I say, like you could do what Bethany Frankel did with the Skinny Girl
Wait,
Margarita.
that's in the next segment. I have it because we got okay. So let's do our second tasting. Everybody get your second.
All right.
So this is the Chardonnay.
This is Chardonnay. It's the 2020 Napa Valley. So this is super cool. We're getting fruit just south of Yountville, about 3 miles. It's called the Mir Hannah Vineyard.
And I've seen like pictures. You're actually like holding the fruit. You're inspecting the fruit. This is a hand, like literally a hand-picked process?
Oh, everything's handpicked. All of the grapes.
And
are
that's the
handpicked.
beauty of a small winery is all the hands-on opportunity. We joke about the finances, but we touch on everything. We know everything, and so that's a good thing.
Okay, so what notes should I be picking up from this Chardonnay?
Guess.
He's telling you to guess.
I know, I'm trying.
He's stalling.
I smell like and this is probably not even in it. I get like a little gardenia.
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting.
White flower.
Yeah, but like gardenia has a very specific floral.
Why are you looking at me?
So this guy that I'm getting fruit from, his name is Michael Hanna. He is the great-great-grandson of John Muir, the father of our national parks.
Yeah.
So he's an environmentalist. He's a conservationist, sustainable organic practices. So you can be sure there are birds and butterflies and flowers in this vineyard.
No, I don't like Chardonnay. Why do I like this so much?
Because
I'm getting very earthy tones.
Yeah.
good.
It's
really good.
That blank canvas that the winemaker can play with.
Now, what would I eat this with? So if you were going to serve lunch that matched this Chardonnay perfectly.
So when we serve lunch, we kind of go pretty traditional, old school, Julia Child. So I'll do a cheese souffle, or my family is Polish, so we make pierogi.
That's a lot of work.
I'm getting used to saying we because he had the hotel until April, and now he and I are working on this together.
A couple that can cook together in the kitchen, that's like surviving like a 10-day road trip. Like, I hate sharing the kitchen space with anybody.
This is crazy.
Get out.
So we've been together since 1999. We work together. We sleep together. We work in the house together. We walk downstairs in the office is the kitchen. We used to work out together until he joined that jumpy CrossFit. But now...
There's a CrossFit in Napa with 1,100 people?
No, Napa. I'm in Yountville.
Oh, okay.
So I drive 18 minutes to get to Napa.
So one of the questions was, spill the tea. How did you meet? Now, I know the story. It's like such a typical story that could have just been a chance encounter, but it's really, now we're looking at how many years.
I'll back up the story and you could tell
I'll tell the first part because you're going to have to remind me of dates. That's not my strong point.
All right.
It was April 10th.
Well, no, that's not the first part. The first part is 1985.
No, when did we meet?
We both graduated high school in 1985.
We both went to...
You went to the same high school?
No, we went to community college. And then we both went to Cal Poly Pomona.
At the same time?
At the same time.
And you never ran into each
in
other?
the same major.
And never crossed paths?
And never met.
Because there was no Grindr or Sniffies.
Why? But there was...
There was a bar on campus, and so I studied at the bar. They used to have bars on campus.
Oh my God, what's wrong with the college I went to?
So 1999, though, 10 years later, it was April 10th. It was a beautiful Sunday.
It was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Opera in the park, not a cloud in the sky. And what do all the gays do?
We all go into a dark bar and drink.
So we met at 2 in the afternoon.
I walked in with a good friend of mine. He was the only person standing in the bar that I would never go to because it has fucking carpet on it. I don't care, gay or straight, men are fucking dirty. No gay bar should ever have a carpet. But we went in there to get a drink.
It stunk.
So bad. And so we went in there, and there's this hot guy at the back, and my friend walks up to him. Turns out Joey did concurrent enrollment at the other Cal Poly and knew my best friend at the time. So I went and got my one beer for the night. And by the time I came back, a gaggle of about 7 other gays had walked in who all knew him from college as well. And the rest is history.
College.
What college?
No, it's like they all knew him from college. Meanwhile, when we say that in West Hollywood, it means something very different.
Yeah. Okay, are we allowed to put ice in wine? We got that question. We got that a few ways.
Nobody's watching.
It's hot. Sure.
Yes, it doesn't dilute what you're doing?
It does, but it's your wine. You paid for it.
It's what people said, should I like this? I don't know. What do you like?
I don't like the
What's
way
a
it
wine
changes
scent?
the flavor.
It does.
Because it dilutes it.
Yeah.
But like it's like an Italian thing, right?
Well, is it? I don't know.
I thought you were Italian.
It's a-
I am,
Why?
but I don't put. I mean,
People
It's
put
a red wine,
ice
white
in red
thing.
wine. Yeah.
No.
I could put ice in white or rosé maybe, but not in red.
Yeah, not in red.
But a
I
lot
would
of people
respect
do that. It's an Italian thing.
A lot of people are wrong.
They do.
Tell that to Danielle Staub. She'll flip your table over.
I will. Think I'm afraid of Danielle Staub.
I love her. She's going to be on that new show, Villains. Oh, that's a whole other
I don't
shit
know
show
why. She shows up at my family's wakes. I don't know why.
for the free food. Oh, no, I love Danielle. We love you.
What's
Anyway.
a cardinal sin for like wine? Like what's something that's like a big no-no?
That's a good question.
I don't know if there's like rules like that. I mean, there's things I wouldn't do.
You wouldn't have Cabernet with oysters.
He will have Cabernet with oysters. I wonder what's going on with his mouth right there.
He knows what's going on with my mouth. But
Anybody, like any gay man who can handle oysters, good in my book.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, there is no cardinal rule. What is, people said, should I like this? Or people apologize when they're at our home and we're serving our wine. They say what styles or what wine they like. There's nothing to apologize for. You know what you like. You know what your palate enjoys. And there's nothing wrong with owning that. I'm mostly a red wine person. So I would prefer, red wines, but that's fine. We all have our flavors.
So like my ex's mom would drink like a half a bottle or 3/4 a bottle and then leave it there for like 2 weeks and then go back to it. I'm like, that's a no-no.
Yeah, that could
It didn't taste, like it didn't make me gag, but it just didn't taste.
It probably has volatile acidity.
Oh God, well she did.
It's really
the
good?
wine too.
Apparently this is the thing too, red wine with Coca-Cola.
Calimocho.
It's so good.
Calimocho.
Really?
Calimocho.
So yeah. It's Calimocho.
Calimocho.
But like as a winery, I would imagine you were like, no, don't touch my wine.
Well, I would do that with cheap wine.
If you're doing that, we're not giving you a discount. You're paying full price.
Yeah, no. We're not doing that.
It's
okay.
no friends and family rate.
That was fresh.
We got some hot topics, so everybody answer this in your own way, and I have my own way to answer it too. How much should you drink on a first date? And let's start down here, Mike.
Yeah.
How rich is the guy paying?
Why aren't you paying, bitch? You're a YouTuber influencer.
Yeah, but I work hard to look like this, so I don't have to pay. And I don't work hard for that right now. Look at this. Okay,
You're getting a free dinner at Sizzler. That's what you're getting right now.
No, honestly, here's the thing. In all honesty, I like to be like the chivalrous one. I've dated people with money and I still get like insecure about it. And I'm like, no, I have to pay. Do you know what I mean?
It's like a weird thing.
The way it was raised.
Get it. But that wasn't the question. Is how much should you drink on a first date?
I was getting there.
Okay.
I would say you want to get just loosened up enough, but you don't want to get drunk on the first date because you want to remember everything. Do you know what I mean? So I would say cocktails, max 3.
Okay.
Max 3 cocktails because you want to remember the conversations you have with that person. It's disrespectful to get drunk on a first date.
Okay.
I think it depends like how long the date goes. If you're just doing dinner or something, 2 max. But then if you decide to like go somewhere and have a drink after,
Like to Mickey's or the Abbey or whatever.
oh, very classy. 3, 4 max, but that's kind of pushing it.
So my opinion is if you drink a lot and like, let's say on a normal night for you, you have 5 drinks. Let's just say that that's normal for you. You're dating somebody. If you're fake on your first date.
You're slowing down, girl.
I'm just talking usual. I'm talking about like a usual night. No, Andrew and I have put it down for like hours. We're like, our eyelashes are like up here. Anyway. But if that's who you are and if that's what you normally do, why should you fake it for a first date and be like, you know what, 3 drinks and like be respectable and like, good night, like whatever.
But is it fake or is it self-control? That's what I'm thinking.
But
like,
if that's
I want
who
you
I
on your
really
best
am,
behavior.
if that's who they're really going to date,
Yeah.
then I should present who I really am.
I mean, I'm really a person who lives in a onesie and eats cookies and screams in profanities all day long, but I'm not going to do
People
that on
want
the
to
first
date
date.
that. But people want to date that.
Where are they?
But in 3 months, they're going to be next to that in your bedroom. Like if you were dating 3 months, they're going to be like,
then they leave. That's the problem.
Oh, God. I just think you should be like who you are. If you drink 5 drinks on a regular night out, then drink 5 drinks on the first date.
I also respect that, though.
Yeah.
I agree. It depends on how long the date is, but also it depends on what your tolerance level is.
Well, that is true, too.
Like if you're going to get wasted on 2 drinks, stop at 1. If you can handle the 5 drinks, enjoy yourself.
Yeah, okay.
We won't publicly state how many drinks you had that night I met you, will you? Yeah,
It wasn't a night that we met at 2:00 in the afternoon, and
then we left after the Simpsons.
Day drinking is my favorite thing in the whole. Like I love day drinking more than any night out.
Yeah.
Because you actually talk to somebody, you get loosened up, you meet a lot of people. I don't know. There's some magic to day drinking.
We love it.
Did you guys hook up on the first night?
Yeah. So we're walking back to his car. I've got a story.
5 drinks.
I've got a story. We're walking back to his car after he bought me onion rings when we left the Midnight Sun watching The Simpsons. We're walking up the hill to his car.
Midnight Sun.
Uh-huh.
Midnight Sun used to have a 3-for-1 deal.
Oh,
and we talk about
we know.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
know.
I remember that.
Hence
and it's
the fact-
gasoline that they pour in
And
that
hence
drink.
the fact we moved out of the city. So we're walking up to his car. I hope my mother's watching this. And then I noticed his car was parked a little bit on the corner, and there's a white thing on his windshield. And I thought, oh, fuck, you got a ticket. So I pulled it off for him, and it's like, it's not a ticket. It was
what?
the person you were with the night before.
They wrote a letter like, watch out.
Yeah. No, I wish. No, I wish we would have saved
No, it was
it.
more
He
like
wanted
call
to
me.
It was call me. I want to get together again. But he chose me. I'm so lucky.
Aw. I love that you were driving that night.
Yeah,
Like, that's
don't even. I know.
Uber, hello.
I know. There was no Uber.
It was 1999.
There was no
okay,
Uber.
Okay. All right. So, Mike, we got this question a lot, and I want you guys to answer from the wine perspective, and I want you to answer from your alcohol perspective. God. Talking about what's the skinny on skinny alcohol? Is it actually a thing?
Skinny alcohol.
It's become this empire.
There's skinny cocktails.
Yeah, there's skinny margaritas.
That's not it's wrong.
Oh,
The skinny.
tell
And
us.
I'm going to tell you
and
right
I've seen
now.
skinny wines.
I just reacted to Bethany, and I'm going to say this. I love Bethany.
well, she
Frankel.
sold the company, so she's the face, but
Yeah, but she did this. She created this.
she's one of the
It's
smartest
disgusting.
women on TV.
It's awful.
Why?
It is literally the same as Jose Cuervo margarita mix, and it pisses me off because
Okay, give us the skinny.
it's literally like I think 2% difference from Jose Cuervo margarita mix, which is wild to me. And I had to drink 3 bottles to get a buzz.
See, that's where I was going to go. I did try it. I'm like, I feel nothing. It's like drinking juice.
Literally.
So if I have
It's
to
a
get
mixer.
those,
It's a mixer.
If I
So
have to
call it
get-
what it is.
If I have to get more calories doing skinny margarita than I can just for my regular, should I just do the regular?
Yes,
So why are people buying into this falsity?
because Bethany Frankel said it. And Bethany Frankel doesn't know anything about alcohol, but she is a marketing genius. She was on New York Housewives and said it with confidence and then went on and just continued to do it.
And remember her first time in a supermarket? It was her by herself, and they were all making fun of her.
Yep.
Nobody was stopping by, and she's like, "Well," but she kept
She
at
was
it.
selling cookies.
And who's the marketing genius for wine right now, Joe?
Oh, Cameron Diaz,
Yes.
Work.
What?
Clean wine.
clean wine.
the hell is a clean wine?
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's the same exact.
Yeah.
But don't you
exact
have to
thing you're
back up
talking
something?
about.
If you
I-
say your product does something, don't you have to back
Want to
it
know
up?
a secret?
Yes.
Grey Goose is trash.
I love Grey Goose.
Grey-
I never
if
have a
you-
hangover with Grey Goose.
I
though.
did
Same.
a lineup.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Oh, that's so funny. I did a lineup.
Oh, that's so funny.
I did a lineup of 30 people, and I had them blind pick a vodka they liked between Smirnoff and Grey Goose. Smirnoff was a clean sweep.
I like Smirnoff taste and the flavor, but Grey Goose, I just know I'm not going to have a hangover the next day.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Tito's.
Kettle One, I'll get a hangover.
Yeah.
Grey Goose, no.
Really?
Tito's, I'll have a hangover.
But
Oh,
it
Tito's
tastes
is,
like
like,
garbage.
really-
But like, listen, okay, there's other vodkas that are going to give you that. Grey Goose, okay, you're not going to get a hangover. But I feel like a lot of its popularity is marketing. Like, I feel like a lot of alcohol and stuff like that is marketing.
So the only way to make a skinny margarita is to skinny down the
Mixer.
mix.
So she basically did, I think it was Patron with a little bit of triple sec and lime. So I don't know. That's like,
Because I know with beer, the only way to make a low calorie beer is to add water.
I wasn't even considering low calorie.
No, but I'm
beer.
just thinking from a beer perspective.
so that
the only way
dilutes
to
it.
make
So
it
you
low-
do literally have to drink
Yes,
more.
a skinny margarita, you add
Michelob
soda
Ultra.
water. You add soda water and you do less or no agave. But that would be the difference. So I don't know what she was making. She was making some kind of shot.
But once again, she defines skinny. Cameron Diaz defines clean because there is no FDA, no
Well, the
TTB
FDA is-
labeling for that.
FDA is not in charge of wine. TTB
thank-
is
Because you
Thanks
could
for-
say it.
What's TTB?
Trade, Tobacco, and Firearms
They're
TTB
the
Bureau.
overall.
Yes.
They're the federal level.
And so it's wholly different. That's why there's no labeling on these wine bottles. There's no nutrition labels. And so
So you can call it clean.
So
very
she calls
easily.
it clean, which means nothing.
Yeah.
And she says there's no additives, but there's things we add to wine to make wine that precipitate out. So I call them tools because they're no longer in the finished wine. They're gone.
Mm-hmm.
So we use them and they did their job and they're gone and we rack
But
them
they're
off.
natural too.
And they're still natural products.
So to say that it's clean means nothing.
And when someone says we have chemical-free wine, this whole thing is chemicals. These are chemical compounds that make wine.
What are those things in the wine that give you the hangover? What are they called?
Sulfites.
Tannins?
Tannins. Can you get like a filter for that?
I've heard.
Is that a scam?
I think it's a scam. I think the real reason you get a headache from wine is because you drink too much of it.
Got it.
So tannins come from the skin and from the seeds.
Stems and seeds.
Got it. It's like when the white girls go to the Abbey and they're like, I got roofied. Girl, you were drinking a gay cocktail.
Yeah, or they had 2 Pinot Grigios. And again, there's that Pinot Grigio. Okay, so I want to know, we got so many, like, hot topic. So that's the skinny on skinny. You're not really doing much. Okay, this is a silly hot topic, but for some reason we got it a few ways. I saw my friend's boyfriend on Grindr. They say they don't have an open relationship. Do I say anything? It's not a best friend, it's a friend.
No.
Why?
Stay out of it. Not your relationship, not your problem.
But what if they don't know that their partner's on...
Then I swear, because you're going to be the one to blame at some point. It's going to come back on you. That's their relationship. You don't know what happens behind closed doors. They might be like open, but they don't announce it.
That's true. They could be open because there's a lot of people are open and are scared to tell their friends about it.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to get judged by their friends.
Yeah. I don't want my friends to try to get, I don't want open season.
I would just do it like passing, like, guess who I saw on Grindr? Your boo.
Okay, but that's very, like, I love that because that's messy.
Yeah.
Like, that's
It's
drama.
like fun. It's like,
No, it's not fun because you might just cause a whole mess of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, like, was it
with
worth
my
it?
rosé. Yeah.
Oh my God.
What do you think?
My opinion?
Yeah.
Stay out of it.
Not my monkeys, not my circus.
Yeah, Polish proverb.
But they're your friend. You have an obligation to your friend first.
I don't have an obligation to anybody but me.
Your friends?
What about them?
Wait till you're 56. It gets further and further and
bet.
wider.
Listen, I love my
do you
friends, but I
think,
will
Jeff?
take them down.
I just think it's got to be someone awfully close to me at this point in my life for me to say something, to have that conversation with.
You have to know the full situation before you comment.
Mm-hmm.
If there's variables, it'll backfire.
Everybody's got their issues, their needs, their concerns, their wants, their life. And when I hang up that phone or put the app down, I don't know what's going on in anybody else's life.
Exactly.
I mean, if it was my girlfriend's boyfriend, then that might be a different
Why
story.
is that okay? See, that's funny because
that's
wait
that's
a minute.
gay
Now
messy.
it's open
No,
season
because now it's
we
tea.
want we want the straights to go
Because
we
now
want them
it's
to go
tea.
down. That is so
No, it's great.
sexist.
It's
That is so sexist.
Do you understand? Growing
Oh my God.
Growing up in Jersey, these girls would bring their new boyfriend from out of town, and I would have to pretend like we'd have an awkward moment pretending like we didn't know each other. I'm like, oh hi, Brad, bottom
Why is it
224.
okay just because she's a girl and then the other is a guy?
Because it's our inner secret funny joke that we can't talk about.
Oh, that is so sexist.
I don't care. Call it what it is.
All right, third tasting. That Chardonnay though was very good. Okay,
These are really good. By the
Thank you.
Yeah, they're-
Thank you very much.
Okay, and nobody drinks red wine?
Oh, I do.
I'm gonna taste it.
I do.
I do.
If it has a proof, I'll put it inside of me.
Okay. We
Or
might
a good credit score.
We might be asking you that to put on our labels next year. Just
you
be
go.
prepared. Okay.
Can you imagine?
Not an influencer, just under the influence.
Now, what kind of food am I
Yes.
serving this with?
Oh, this is perfect for fall, autumn. We got boeuf bourguignon, we have coq au vin, we have all sorts of stews
steaks.
and braises and
Like
steaks.
steaks?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is, we actually brought it, we make a red wine blend every year out of the Bordeaux varietals. And we actually brought our 2019 Cabernet for you. Joey likes to say, as a chef cook, that one ingredient when you're cooking can tend to be a little bit boring, and the more you add, the more interesting it can be. So he enjoys blending. So all of our wines have some element of, all the red wines have some element of a Bordeaux varietal blend in it.
What to tell you, like I said, I do not like red wines. This doesn't taste as like acidic and as heavy.
Tannin.
This
And
flavor
it's not as
punch.
tannic.
It punches. This is very strong flavor punch. It's good.
It's really good.
Can I also tell you something funny? Nobody knows shit about red wine. They don't know anything. The amount of times people would order red wine and I would just give them whatever was open.
And they just be like,
Where'd you
No one-
work?
The Abbey.
Well,
But here's the thing.
And they're paying
But
like-
here's the
they're
thing.
paying
I worked
like
at the
$18
Abbey.
for a
I worked
glass
at the
of wine, by the
Monster.
way.
I worked at Little Prince. I worked at several places. Everywhere I was.
Little Prince.
Little Prince in Manhattan.
I love
Little
it.
Prince. It's so good. Go to Gabs. Anyway, if anybody did notice, they never said anything. 10 years of bartending.
but that's LA. Everybody pretends that
No,
they know
New
what they
York.
don't know.
New York too.
Well,
And New Yorkers
you're
would say
dealing with
something.
entertainment
New Yorkers
communities and
would say
both,
something. You don't think so?
No, I'm saying yes. Like New York is as fake as LA.
Yes, I think most people don't know anything about wine. I think you could probably tell. Like if you order a Merlot and I give you a Pinot, you're gonna be like, "What the hell?"
Even I can tell. That.
Exactly. But like if you're 22 and you're already halfway blitzed,
Because they're being told like this is fancy.
exactly. And don't order red wine at a bar; it's gonna stain your teeth.
Exactly.
Why would you order red wine at a bar? You're
You're
not having
confused.
food or whatever.
Because you're confused.
So talking about the future, Andrew, what's up ahead for the underwear line? I know you said you're going to be pegging underwear. And here's the thing: we're going to get sexy. Sex toys have become a big sell on your website. When you first unleashed them, I was like, I didn't think they were going to be such a big sell because like you do underwear really well, but sex toys are a huge thing.
I think it's an easy add-on for people, and they don't have to feel weird about it because they're already shopping for clothes and underwear. And they'd be like, "Oh, let me get this dildo. Let me get this cock cage. Let me and just it comes with the rest of their order."
Do you think people are like men are more explorative now than they used to be?
Oh, for sure, definitely.
I've never used a sex toy in my life.
Oh my god, you got to try! I started this year. It's fun.
But like by yourself or with?
Yeah, I told you.
Like,
if
what
you're gonna bottom, you
music
gotta
are you playing?
practice. You gotta practice.
I don't bottom, and it's not because it's
grow
not
up,
because,
be an
but
adult.
it's not.
Be
it's
an
not,
adult. Be an adult.
Everybody says that it's not. I think I have a tipped uterus. It will not.
That's because
happen.
you're not practicing.
I have practiced. I've used a paperclip. I've used everything. It is not going to happen.
No.
There's something. There's like I tilted or something. It has nothing to do with like me like being butch or whatever. It has nothing to do with that. I wish because most people expect it, right? It's like, what's Ross Matthews doing? Okay.
That was fresh.
But I am expanding my clothing collection. I'm doing these capsule collections, which are all based off of theme. So for spring, I did like a little army capsule.
So sexy, you guys. So like the epaulets and like the streamline cut. So sexy.
I mean, it's a reinterpretation of it. It's just taking a loose interpretation of it. For summer, I did the Oasis collection, which was based off of Palm Springs. So very like sandy, earthy colors. And then for fall, I'm doing a space capsule collection.
Love it. Like sci-fi or like NASA?
It's like space meets Kylie Minogue.
Okay. I'm still waiting for like a sci-fi Star Trek because I'm a Trekkie.
I love that. I worked for you for a week.
I asked if he'd ever.
You were my first job in LA.
Pour some more.
For a week.
For a week.
Well,
What
because
happened?
I got hired at the Abbey and then I quit.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, but okay. Anyway.
But it was very fun. It was at the one that was across the street from Pump.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
On the corner.
And that staff,
the store,
they were
not
so,
like his headquarters.
They were you're not the headquarters. I don't think we ever crossed paths. I was only there for like 3 days. But it was like the staff there was so much fun. It was actually a really good work culture. So I was just like, I wanted to point that out. Maybe it could have been done at a different time, but
All right, little sexiness. Working with your hubby, how do you keep that spark alive? It's been years. We know any relationship, kind of whatever, and then having the stress, like you said yourself. You are together almost every minute of the day with the stress of finances, with the stress of a vintage.
You got it right there. Did you see that? That's
Yeah.
exactly.
My God, he's
how we
scared of
keep-
you.
Exactly.
Yeah, like Joan Crawford over
Exactly
here.
what's going on.
Is it the music that brings you together? Little known fact: Jeff plays the clarinet, and
Joey.
Joe plays the accordion.
Mm-hmm.
Accordion was my COVID project.
It was fucking great. But he taught me to sleep naked, so it definitely helps after 23 years. So it's good.
But after you work like a whole day, are you really like?
I am.
Oh,
He always is.
is he asleep while you do it?
I respect that.
I love how you guys like pick on each other and like do fun little things. Like it's really like it's kind of inspiring.
It's 23 years.
It's because they drank
I
a
love
lot on
that.
their first date. They knew what to expect.
Most gay couples yeah, you're right.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Most gay couples I know after 2 years hate each other. So
Yeah.
like this is like really honestly it's very nice to see.
Good. It's what we do. It's who we are. It's our world right now. So it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Andrew, I wanted to ask you. You're doing a program where people can trade in their underwear
They can trade in their underwear. They can send in 5 pairs from another brand.
that are used.
Yeah, like their old underwear.
How much?
They can be nasty. They can be stanky.
How much?
And pay
No.
$10 for the shipping both ways, and we'll send them a free pair of Andrew Christian. So
What's the motivation behind that? Like,
we can
you're getting all these smelly undies.
so we can get some converts. Give them some good quality underwear.
Oh, I
Good
see.
call.
We're getting Hanes off the streets.
Like, with,
Okay, we're
what
getting
kind of
rid of
marks are they?
fruit of the
Oh, God.
loom,
It's
and we're putting in quality in the world.
How much are you paying your mail person room? They're open like with gloves and like a
Exactly.
5 pairs.
Hazmat
But
suit.
You get okay.
Hazmat suit. Walking with the black light.
Oh, give
You
me
wanna
the
see
tea on your hotter than hot Jérôme Chéri.
Jérôme Chéri.
You guys, on their staff is a hot guy. What? Single, gay, what?
Single and gay. So
He's so handsome.
Jeff is gay. I'm gay. Jérôme Chéri is
Jérôme
gay.
Chéri. I mean,
Our winemaker.
look at
Our
that.
winemaker.
He's so
Why
handsome.
don't gays set like their friends up on dates?
There's only 1,100 people there.
I'm gay. I'm single. This man, is he like loud, obnoxious Italian boys?
He's
He seems
French.
very quiet.
He's French.
He's French.
oh
so-
shit, he's gonna hate me.
Yeah.
So he's
It's
sort of-
nicer when you say
like how
it and
you
I
just like,
don't.
yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
He started working with us in 2020. He lives in Napa. He went to the University of Burgundy in Dijon. Burgundy is the motherland of Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. We do make a Pinot Noir. So it's fun to see what he's going to do with these varietals over the next few years. He's been doing a great job. We took it in Chardonnay this morning. He was there for us. But yeah, he's a great guy.
So handsome. Okay, walk us through exactly how to make a wine. So today you said is the first of your
Harvest.
harvest of a Chardonnay. So what does that mean? You're actually picking the grapes
Yes. We picked
as of
him.
today. So walk us through when we're going to get that bottle.
So Chardonnay, you'll probably get it in a year and a half.
Like walk us through that
Walk
Oh,
process.
through.
the process.
You're so
Okay.
cute.
You
So-
grab all the grapes.
So at about 3 a.m, they start to harvest the grapes. They put them in bins.
Why 3 in the morning?
Jesus.
Because you want to bring in cold grapes. Because they'll start to ferment if they're warm. And you don't want the fermentation process to start until you're ready. So you want to
Oh, that's
control.
interesting.
You want to control the process.
In the
So they
morning.
put it in bins. They bring it into the crush pad, it's called. And then white wine, we just go straight to press. And so we will dump it into the bladder press and squeeze it out and get the juice and put it into a tank and then let it cold settle, like leave it there at a temperature below 54 degrees. So it doesn't start fermentation, but we let the particles settle over a few hours, 24 to 48 hours. And then we'll rack that off, meaning we pull the clean juice off and get rid of the particles. And then we will send that through fermentation. It goes in a barrel, and we ferment in the barrel for Chardonnay.
Now, are you checking this fermentation every now and then, or you don't touch it
It's
until
called Brix and Temp. So Brix is the percentage of sugar in the grapes, and the percentage of sugar should be dropping as the yeast are eating the sugar. And the temperature, we want to not get it to rise too much. So we're trying to keep the temperature to a certain time point. And so we take that either once or twice a day, depending on the winery you're working with.
Now, what can make a barrel go wrong? Like when you open it at the end of the year and a half or whatever, and you're like, "Oh, that did not work."
So we check it every month.
Okay.
So we don't wait a year and a half. And we do use sulfur. We keep, there's a lot of chemistry involved here. But we try to keep our free sulfur and our bound sulfur numbers in check. And sulfur is an antioxidant and antibacterial. So
What is the end result of wine, Joe?
the end result of wine, okay, this is what's her name? Cameron Diaz.
I'm just here to feed him
It's
lines.
clean.
Mm-hmm.
The end result of wine is to become vinegar. People
yeah.
say like I'm a non-interventionist winemaker. I don't intervene. I'm like, you've got to intervene. That's your job, because if you don't intervene, it's going to become vinegar one day.
This is so much knowledge. I'm learning that there's people that are made to make alcohol, and then there's people that are made to drink alcohol.
And then there's the fad where like
We do both.
and there's
We
a
do
fad
both.
where like
Switch hitter.
the fad is like a celebrity will get approached by a wine label and they'll just slap a label. They have
Yes.
no interaction on the process.
Casamigos.
It did well.
It did, and I like it, which is the worst part.
It's in our hotel room.
It's good.
Yeah.
You guys love your tequila.
He does. I
he
like
loves his
gin.
gin. He's a gin
Oh,
girl.
you're a gin.
I'm
He's a gin girl.
You're like the Betty Davis and you're the Joan Crawford. It makes perfect sense.
So then it goes in a barrel, and about a year and a half, 18 months, we send it through bottling line, and it comes out as that, whatever that is over there.
And then you pack it up and all of that.
Yeah, so there's different processes along the way that just become too detailed to go through on a radio podcast.
Well, I want to tell you about these classy guys. They put out this magazine, by the way. I mean, the heft of this magazine, and it looks gorgeous.
Oh, wait. Oh, my goodness. Speaking of gorgeous.
But there's like
that?
interviews
Oh, my
in this. So chic.
Oh, look at that.
But you really talk to a lot of different people. There's recipes in it. And I hear maybe there's a little cookbook on the way.
It's a cookbook of sorts coming. So I do a monthly interview or a monthly newsletter, and I do what's going on with us, what's going on with the winery. That's drag queens. I interview
Juanita Moore's
tastemakers.
amazing. She's amazing.
Do you know Juanita?
Juanita Moore?
Yeah, she's
love that.
amazing. She's amazing.
So she was our interview in October last year. I interviewed drag queens, burlesque performers, actors, Major League Baseball managers, politicians.
This month an NFL, retired NFL player too.
Yep.
So I'm
Buffalo
excited.
Bills.
Yeah.
Playboy bunnies are coming up. I got a lot of fun people I interview.
This is great. So if you're part of the wine club, you actually get this?
You get the print edition, but anybody can sign up for the digital edition.
I love that.
I love that. Okay, Mike, we got
You can have one.
Oh God, what did I do?
we got a question.
Question.
What are the most annoying cocktails to make? Not just because of the
Mojito.
labor, but because of the type of people that order them.
Mojito.
I don't understand why people order mojito when they know they're at Pride and there's like 1,000 people waiting for 2 bartenders.
I say no.
Good.
I say no. The thing is, I learned how to be like, if you want to be a nice person, be a waiter. I became a bartender so I can be a jerk.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. I will give you the thing. I will give you what you order. But if you're dumb, I have to tell you that you're dumb. I just have to. I don't have a choice.
There goes your tip.
Okay, your $1 tip. There's 100 other people willing to give it to me.
When's the last time you actually worked
I don't
at a real
care.
bar, though?
I don't care. You know that I would do this in New York, and they thought it was part of my shtick. People used to tip me an extra
they probably pay you
$5
more.
to be mean
Like,
to them.
Be mean to me, daddy.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "Be nice, Michael," and I said no, and look what happened. Oh, it didn't work. But like, I'm never like mean. I get fun. Like if you order a shot of this, is all true. Someone ordered a virgin tequila martini.
What the hell is that?
Exactly. Someone ordered a shot of vodka and a shot of whiskey. And when I brought it out, they said, which one is which?
So they're trying to be cool.
So that's when I check your ID. And that's when I give you an empty glass and laugh. You know what I mean? That's when I give you like funny things back.
I guess your advice is to just don't be cool, order what you want, but don't be ridiculous
dumb.
about it.
But don't be dumb. Don't be stupid.
What's a good first drink for somebody that's like not a drinker, that they're like, I'm in my first time in West Hollywood.
Okay.
There's all this noise going on. I don't know what I want. The worst thing I think you can ask a bartender is like, surprise me or make me something special. That's
Never
the
say
worst.
surprise me
Yeah.
because then if you don't like it, I have to remake it and I'm going to be pissed or you're going to complain. If you
Or they're
didn't-
like, make it sweet but not too sweet.
no, and don't
What the
ask me
hell
what
is
my
that?
favorite thing to make is because it's going to be a shot of tequila. Okay, it's fast and easy.
This is so delicious.
I'm telling you, it is really good.
Okay, that's the Chardonnay.
But I would say don't practice drinking at a bar. Do this at home.
But Mike, it's like a social thing, especially for our community.
no, before-
like it's our time for fellowship.
I would say
Should
yes.
we belittle people for wanting
I'm
to
not
fellowship?
belittling. I say if you really want to find out what your personal tastes are, that should be done at home. But if you want a safe drink,
Yeah.
I would say just go with like you listen. You know a soda you love, mix it with the alcohol that goes with it. You love soda, vodka soda. You love like a sweeter thing. You love Coca-Cola, rum and Coke. I would do whiskey Coke. You know what I mean?
Vodka
Stuff like
pineapple
that.
to me is always safe too.
Vodka pineapple is good because it makes your cum taste better.
That's a myth.
Okay, bet.
Talk to my ex. I was like,
I feel like too, like if it's a busy bar, it's Pride, and there's a line, you
Just
just
do the
want to make the
easy.
order easy.
Oh, yeah, no,
and
I
have
order 2 at a time.
and
By the way,
I asked
order
my friends
2 at a time.
I asked my friends, "What do you want? Someone wants this. I'm like, no, you're all getting vodka sodas.
You got to
that's a good thing.
know where
Yeah,
you
that's
are.
smart.
If you want like exquisite cocktails, a really good whiskey, a really good tequila, don't order it at the Abbey. Okay, if it's 11 p.m. and you order a Bloody Mary, I'm making fun of you.
My God.
Like because there's drinking etiquette, and I'm like an Italian from New Jersey. I don't know how to teach you unless I shame you. I don't know in a funny, fun way. You say ew.
I hope you
was
don't have
me.
sex
That
with
was
like
me.
Yeah, I hope you don't
I
have
thought
sex
that-
with like a virgin. They'll never have gay sex again.
Not shame you. Like hurt. Like I guess
I've seen you. Yeah.
you know how it's in a funny, nice way.
So what's your drink of choice?
Your home life just flashed before my eyes. That's why I said that.
You know exactly what I went through. He's like, this kid is hurt.
What's your drink of choice? You're going to a nice bar and you're going to order a drink. Not to get effed
Spicy
up.
mezcal margarita.
Okay.
Love it. I love mezcal, but I also because like it tastes like tequila that was swashed around in the mouth of a smoker.
Dirty.
And I have trauma, so that's probably
Dirty
explains
smoker.
Okay.
it. Love it.
That's exactly what I would pay
What's
for you.
your-
I'll take the red wine.
If it's daytime, margaritas all day, every day. At night,
Laura margaritas. It's so sweet and like sticky.
I love it. It's
Like
like
a flavor
it's like
of
diabetes
cucumber.
in a glass.
You haven't
Like,
had it,
I
right?
love it.
Cucumber.
And if it's night, vodka soda.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, gin and tonic.
Gin and tonic, sweetie. Gin and tonic. Fab, yes.
Margarita 24/7.
Really?
You know, both those fit.
I thought vodka was
And
gonna
it's
be
not
a-
an insult. That's
No,
like,
no, it's fine.
Gin people seem to be much more like studious and like intellectual, know what the hell
and
they're
like
talking
laid
about.
back, a little bit more serious.
And margarita people seem to be a little more fiery.
Would you say?
That fits.
I'm just saying I don't want to think about it too much.
Okay, we're gonna play a really quick game. This is for you guys as a couple.
Oh, well.
Since we're all
Well, give me the wine then. Jesus
Are we the
Christ, I
couple?
need the red wine.
yeah.
He's a red.
I do like the red. It's just it's not
No,
like
it's
a
good.
yeah.
It's not a sipping.
Yeah.
Adderall, I'm ready.
Okay, I want you to point to whomever it is. So if I say who's left-handed, then you point to the other. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Biggest diva,
Fuck yeah. Oh, bullshit.
and it has to be quick. Like don't even think about it. Just
I'm
like do
not
it.
thinking that.
Worst driver,
Oh, fuck yeah. Sorry.
worst
That's-
tipper,
I don't know how to tip.
He overtips. It's me. It's me. He overtips. He way overtips. It's
Go
me.
on.
who's the first one to start a fight?
Oh, me. He'll shut down. I scream.
Who's the first one to say sorry?
Me, because he shuts down until I say something.
Who's the first one to initiate sex?
Me.
Who spends the most money in the household?
Him. Oh, bullshit.
The shoes?
What shoes?
All your shoes. I have no shoes.
Honey, your pants beg to differ, by the way. I'm sorry.
Carrie Bradshaw is snatched.
Yeah.
I wear the same shirt every day.
You have 4 of them.
No. I have
Your
one.
pants took their own Uber here. Like,
Yes,
that's how,
true,
like,
yes.
yeah, okay. All right.
Wait. There they are.
Oh, girl, I just saw a lot.
They're there.
Didn't know you were Jewish. Okay. Who's the first one to say, I love you?
You. Oh, what?
There's a Mecca.
No, not the first one to ever say it. You usually say it
Oh.
in general. I remember when I said thank you for calling that out, though. I appreciate it.
That was fresh.
Now, what do you think you've learned from each other? It could be business-wise or personally, from starting this vintage in 2005.
Oh, wow.
I have learned. Joey's very artistic. His mother was very artistic. We have her paintings in our guest bedroom, and she taught me how to knit. I've heard stories of them collecting weeds on the side of the road and letting them dry and spray painting them at a young age.
that.
So a lot of artistic stuff, and it's interesting because when I first met him, we were doing a lot of business stuff, and I'm seeing a lot of more of the artistic stuff come out now. And I give him a hard time because he's learning Polish. He speaks French. He speaks Spanish. He plays the accordion. He plays the piano.
What the hell was that?
That was also short.
That was a sample of his.
I know that.
Accordion. That was the accordion.
Yeah.
So I've learned that all of those projects are a good thing, and to take the time to do them. So as a result, I'm playing the clarinet now.
I think it's so cute, by the way. And when I saw some of the musical, like,
So, you were in a band.
have I ever been in a band?
No, we're in a
we're in a
band.
band.
No, I know. It's called.
Fat
You
Ankle.
guys do everything? Like this
They do.
this is awesome.
Do you guys have like one of those double toilets?
Yeah, that's a good. That's good. That's
No,
good.
it's called Fat Ankle, PHAT.
And our groupies
That's-
are.
That's
Our
what it
groupies
is.
are called the Cankles. And
We have a steel drum in the band. We have a saxophone
saxophone, clarinet, and a vocalist.
and a vocalist.
And you guys have clips on your Instagram of this.
Yeah. And the parade is coming up in a week and a half. So there's a
October
Yountville-
7th.
Yountville Days parade.
He has no concept of time. It's
Maybe it's
3.5 weeks. Yeah.
I don't know. We have a float. I always wanted to be in a parade, so I got a float.
Well, we have pictures. You guys did some festival where you guys did like Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, that's
That was last year's parade.
Yeah.
We won first place.
We won best representation of theme.
Yeah,
Which
I
was
read
the-
between the lines on that when I saw that post. No, that's not Wizard of
Those
Oz.
are that, but the
Tony is like
that's
the most
his
lesbian
that's his accordion,
Yeah.
and those are his bongos. I do not play the bongos.
Get your hands off his bongos.
Yeah,
But you see their rustic like sense. Like, look at the shoes, look at the hat.
That's our house.
that's our house. That coffee table is a piece of driftwood that Joey and his dad pulled out of the ocean when he was 18 months old,
God.
and we just had made into a coffee table.
You guys are like Renaissance men. Like you
Cayucas.
are.
I was 18 months, so I didn't really help much.
Yeah, but I tell people you did.
So I want to talk, and I want this for all of us. You know, you guys are known as a gentleman farmer wines. You guys have a very certain style, the way you dress, the way you present yourself. Being in Napa Valley in such a small city, do you ever feel overshadowed by your image and the fact that you guys can't go and get wasted at the corner bar or have a guy over for like a loud whatever, and that people meet you, you always have to be like, hello, gentleman farmer wines. Would you like lunch with this conversation? I mean, do you feel overshadowed by that and maybe a little, not imprisoned, but it's your brand first?
It's Yountville, and we've lived there for 20 years. And yes, we know all of our neighbors, and a lot of us go get a little tipsy at the bars in town because we know each other.
But not like a gay bar. It's not like you guys are like in your underwear dancing.
No.
Not at the bar.
Do you miss that, though?
You know what? It's weird. When we moved to Yountville in 2003, we were in the city the entire 90s, which was the golden age of San Francisco. Yeah. And
it was
all
amazing.
of our friends.
It was so much fun.
We were getting old very fast in San Francisco. And all of our friends thought we were crazy for leaving the city because we're city boys, right?
I think you left in time. It's totally changed.
Now we can't keep them out of our front bedroom.
Them out of our front bedroom.
They all want to come up to Yountville now
on the weekends
and be able to get away. And whenever we toy with the idea about possibly getting a place, we're told no.
Every time we go back to the city, it's just kind of
it's gotten, and I hate to say it, but it has gotten worse and worse. It's not what it used to be.
You know, I love your question because we're opening the space downtown Napa at the end of October, and I think that's going to be the opportunity to have ourselves and enjoy our space and have them separated and be able to have a business. The bungalow is going to look very much like our home because we want you to come into our home to enjoy your wine. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out moving forward. We'll have a little bit of staff to help us because right now, whenever we do lunch for 12 people, it's the two of us.
So, that's like stressful.
So at the bungalow, though, it's not just me lunches. Yeah. We're going to, because I do these interviews, we're going to do these salons. And the salon will be
a guest bartender from Jersey coming to make you
or
drinks.
An underwear fashion show.
Yes,
Give
exactly.
me a heads up so I could.
Or a live podcast. I'm glad I was left out. I could make taquitos in the corner. Oh my God, give me something.
But we could do magic. We could do puppet shows. We could obviously serve wine.
Penis of puppetry. I love it.
My mother made puppets.
So he has a pup. We have
puppets.
of course.
So yeah, it'll be
but the idea is to have a salon experience. So you're going to come
out.
Yeah, you're going to have an opportunity to come and taste the wine. But we want you to come back. When Joey interviews these people, we want you to get to know them better. We want the wine to be a sense of hospitality, of connection, of meeting 50 people who are there to talk to Corvette LaFace after she does her burlesque show. And getting to know her and what she does and understanding what she does. And we want to have that connection through food and wine. And the bungalow is going to be the perfect opportunity to do that.
I tell you, the wine really it's conversational. It's not so strong and not so bitter and not so buttery or not. It elicits conversation, yes?
I think that's the point.
That's why it's a brunch cocktail. A brunch drink.
No, it's all day. Because I think I asked you what's your favorite alcohol, or I think you.
It was me.
Oh, they're going to be on the cover of GD Magazine next month, by the way. And you're like, so this is my favorite for breakfast, lunch, afternoon, dinner, and dessert.
It was my answer.
And I was like, yeah, so that's it for everyone. Yeah. So Andrew, and talking about like being in public, because you are at all the prides, and everybody has their idea of who Andrew Christian is, and I know you. And this is the reality, is you're such a nice, shy guy. I mean, you can get down and party, but like you're shy. But
not when I'm drinking.
I'm not saying anything. But like you're very friendly, but people expect you to be the face of the brand. And it's like I've never seen you once like let your hair down and like get mean or like really messy or like really drunk, as much as I joke about it. That's a lot of pressure too, though, because you're in these party environments.
I mean, definitely, I have to watch myself. You know, I don't want to be messy, and then people are gonna be like, "Oh, I saw Andrew Christian, and he was puking behind, a couch at the club," or.
But that's kind of fun, though. I don't know.
I mean, we've got kind of crazy before, though.
And yeah, we have.
When I wasn't working an event.
Yes. But like people come up to you all the time, like selfie.
And that's the thing.
It could be 3 in the morning, and people are like, "Can I take a selfie?"
And I never want to have that picture out there. Somebody comes up and takes a picture with me. I'm like, have a wonky eye and like.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of pressure. So like, how do you deal with that? When is your time off?
When I'm not working.
But like, do you go out to clubs on your time off?
Define club.
Not the torch shed.
Definitely not the tool shed.
But you
and
have-
I was actually invited there Sunday, and I was like, I am not going to the tool shed.
Mike, how do you deal with that pressure of being
go out.
Mike from MTV? Yeah.
But the free hot dogs are supposed to be really good.
Oh my God, girl.
I
Nobody
stopped.
wants a free hot dog. That's food poisoning.
Yeah. I stopped going out.
But I think that kind of builds to your mystique because people are like, I love Mike, and they don't see him at the clubs all the time. Like we've seen some of your ex models, and it's just like, oh my God, there they are being a mess
Every
again.
night.
I just listen, like my
That
job
dilutes your
was
product.
the job was bartending, and then the job is entertainment, and then the job is hosting. My job is nightlife. Like if I have a night off, I really want to turn off. The only way I could do that is if I stay home.
Yeah.
I want to be alone. Like I get to see my friends and everyone when I'm working. That's a privilege. So if like my fun is no one's gonna see me for 3 days. Like that's what I want to do.
But I like those friends that you can invite to your house that don't care that you're in your pajamas.
Ugly days. We call them ugly
Yes,
days.
I love that. It was like, girl,
Yeah.
we're eating cereal like all
Yeah,
the,
I
like,
feel it's like the same for me. Like I do a lot of my events at clubs and stuff, and when I'm not working, I don't want to be at a club. I don't want to have people like.
Yes. Your real friends are the people
Yeah.
that you can invite over and you guys like you just want to like come over, you're in your PJs, you're just talking about whatever. You get sloppy, you get messy, and you can just let your hair down and be off. LA is like a lot about being on because we network. Like how on the East Coast, you're going to get a job by going on LinkedIn or Indeed. In LA and this kind of marketing, you're going to get a job in any facet of whatever you do by going to a bar and meeting the right person.
That's how you got picked up for Lindsay Lohan. You were
They came to
working.
they came to the bar and they said, "Who's the most problematic, dramatic bartender?" And they said, "Go talk to Mike. He's New York and sassy."
I hate my boss. So I understand.
I hate me.
Are you the boss?
Of course he is.
Yeah.
Well, no, we
Well, no, what? What do we share? I want to know. I want you to tell the worldwide audience what we share.
responsibility.
Thank you.
Not watches, only one of you. Okay, final hot topic, and we got to wrap up. I want to start sleeping in a separate bed from my partner. They snore loudly and toss and turn all night. I get better sleep when I'm by myself on business trips, and it's really becoming an issue. What's the big deal?
Okay, I want to know the answer to this because I kind of like would like to be in my own bed when I'm older.
I was in a relationship for 8.5 years. We slept together, but there were times like go to the sofa, whatever. But we had separate bathrooms because I don't want that. Whatever.
Got it.
It's okay. Like older couples sleep separately. Like
Don't
that's
look
a normal
over here.
thing. No,
I saw you
didn't
look
mean that.
over
No,
here.
I meant
Are
like
we
in
older
general,
couple?
a lot of our parents that we don't know, like they don't sleep in the same bed.
Yeah.
They're
I
not having
flail.
sex anymore though.
I
But
flail in my sleep. You don't want to sleep next to me.
like cuddling, having sex, great. But like, why do you need to be next to somebody while you're asleep?
Yeah.
What's-
Once you get off,
Yeah.
go away.
So would you be offended if your partner said, "Hey, I want to"?
No, because I'd want the same thing.
Okay.
Like that's why I really genuinely want to know from the opposite perspective because I want to know the people that like no that's not okay.
People think
I
it's
wanna-
breaking up. It's like not that at all. It's
What?
like, let's have a
Okay.
good night of sleep, so we're not fighting the whole night.
Is that tradition though, or is there like a deeper meaning? I'm genuinely curious.
I'm finding out more and more couples sleep separately.
I would not be offended, but when we're on vacation, we need to sleep in the same
Oh,
bed.
100%. That's the fun. Yeah. But like you're okay. Like if somebody said, "Hey, I want to be in separate bedrooms."
I mean, if they're snoring, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I
We
gotta
have a-
sleep.
I mean, it depends like how loud the snoring is too. Like,
And honestly, probably I'm the one snoring. So
Because you've had 5 drinks
Mm.
and they only had 2.
fair.
We have a king size bed though, and there are nights I don't even know he's there. So you gotta try California King for a while, and then make a decision if you want to sleep somewhere else. I don't sleep well if he's not there.
Oh,
It's true. It's true. I
There's
do
like that
not.
presence-
a
You
lot
guys
of
have been
couples
together
say
for so
that
long.
though, and that's
Yeah.
why like I'm genuinely curious.
I got to have someone to poke to say you're snoring, turn over. So I don't know what
He
to
he
do.
doesn't poke. He does this,
I do. I do.
and that's how he stops me from snoring.
But usually he stops. You know that's the trick. If I
have to
put
hit
my
me in the
hand
head with
right
a
here,
shovel
calms you.
before
it
I
calms
stop.
him. It calms him. So it's good.
All right, we didn't get to all of your hot topics. 'Cause some of them were ridiculous, to be honest. But
I have to say though, I'm not a really
Last-
usually a red wine drinker,
last
but
comments.
I love the Cabernet.
Thank
it
you.
is really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things Joey likes to share is that with the red wine that we didn't bring, but still to go along with what you're saying, one of the sommeliers when he was tasting for a restaurant said, you know, if I was going to have a second glass of a wine, it would be this. And that's the ultimate compliment. Because in Napa Valley, everything's so overly done and overly extracted.
Well, it's not overly.
Most
it's
of
a broad statement.
I'm going to make a broad statement.
By the way,
Someone's
he's
sleeping
talking
by
about
themselves tonight at the Monterey.
red wine. This is actually red wine, but it's a Cabernet. We do make a second wine that's called red wine.
No,
I know. I'm just saying
sorry.
They understand because it looks red.
Yeah. But the whole idea is that it's not overly extracted. It's meant to be a fine companion at the table, something
and not
you
a big
enjoy,
bully,
and something you would enjoy a second glass of. So it's nice to hear. Thank you, Andrew.
All right. Any other last thoughts? Mike, being the cocktail aficionado, how has this wine night been?
It was great. No, it was actually really good. They were light. They were light and refreshing. Like all of these, I feel like the first two I would say, the rosé I would say would be like a summer wine, because you can classify them by seasons, right?
Or breakfast with salmon and eggs.
White I would do the spring, and then like you said, red is autumn, because those are like it's.
That's exactly right.
But there's wines for all points of the day.
Yeah,
like, let's say you had a date and you had somebody coming over, you're making them a nice breakfast. You'd make them. Oh, okay.
Like our lady friends down the street, they drink rosé in this hot tub at 8 a.m.
So it all depends what's right for you. Oh, it's great. They'll send us, they're wine club members, and they'll send us photos of when they're enjoying the wine. It's absolutely amazing.
See?
They're also retired, so they could drink.
But it's only 1,100 people. Like, what do you guys do for fun? Like, I'm not poking fun. Like,
Napa's not
Napa's
1,115.
Where you go to the movies.
Napa's 60,000, but Yountville's 1,100.
I want to be
So what do you do
clear.
on a Friday night?
I want to be clear. I eat dinner at 4:30.
Oh my God.
If he doesn't have a fucking movie going by 6:15, the night will be over.
We're in bed by 8:30.
So you guys don't go out and hit the city?
No. I'm up at 5, so no.
I don't even know what to do with that. I could do that for 2 days of like relaxation, but after that, I'm like,
God.
where's the party? Where's the honky tonk?
I start getting nervous at 3 o'clock if he's not cooking. He knows.
We see what's happening, gentlemen. Farmer Wines. Where can we find and follow you, gentlemen?
Instagram at Gentleman Farmer Wines. And you can also go to the website and hit Explore Field Notes, and you could subscribe to these field notes that eventually become a print magazine. You can find us in Yountville. The website is gentlemanfarmerwines.com.
And do it. There's the bungalow coming up, which is going to be an amazing experience in a historical building, and kind of in the center where you grew up, Jeff, too.
I was born and raised there.
It must be weird, bittersweet to see the whole land change, but some aspects are still there.
It's only bittersweet because my dad left us about 10 years ago, and it's amazing how everything comes full circle to the trauma over there of family and the things my dad did and where he would just fit in so well right now. So thank you.
And be so proud. You know, the family legacy is still there. Family legacy. Please don't have kids. I won't come visit.
And what do you get with the wine club, really quickly?
Real quick.
I'm
Thank
curious,
you, Christian, but I cannot pass this up. Once you have a husband, you're never childless, so we're fine. Joey,
he's the responsible one.
Oh bullshit, Joey.
Hello, he has no watch, and you're like, look at my earrings, look at my baubles.
Joey, what do you get with the wine club?
Wine club is super fun. It's 4 shipments a year. You get a little email that says this is coming your way about a week and a half out. It's actually went out yesterday for the fall shipment. You can hit change it, pause it, add to it, do whatever you want with it. It's under your control.
And then also we have Tahoe. We have a rental in Tahoe that's heavily discounted. We have a rental in Napa that's heavily discounted.
A cabin
as
in
wine
Tahoe.
club. A cabin in Tahoma, a place at Silverado Resort on the golf club for wine club members as well. And
Those are like Monopoly.
And the biggest benefit to being in wine club is coming up October 7th.
October 7th, first Saturday in October every year is the Yountville Days Parade.
So we will,
and that's where you had the Wizard of Oz theme last year.
We had 50 people in a town of 1,100 in this mile wide.
We had the biggest
parade.
contingent in the parade the last 2 years, and this year is going to be no exception.
No, you got to tell them what you're doing this year. You don't pause on that.
So really quick.
Are you sure you want to spoil the surprise?
Oh my God,
it's
not
amazing. A surprise. You guys, if you're going to show up, you got to show up in costume. It's mandatory. So I was on the committee for a while, and then I just gave up because it was death by committee. And so the committee got together and came up with a
death
theme.
by committee.
What does that mean?
It was
That's
death
so
by
dramatic.
committee. It was death by committee of 70-year-old white women who weren't going to participate.
They were drinking Pinot Grigio, like.
Oh, damn right they were.
I gave them. I handed. It's like bring it on. Here's the cheer. I handed this to you. Just take it. Here's the theme. Take it.
Politics.
So they didn't take it, and they came up with their own theme called Celebrating Our Roots. I'm all like, how the hell am I going to decorate a float with
And this
roots?
one needs to pomp a float.
I'm all, I can't decorate a float with a bunch of roots. So we flipped it on its head, and we're going to root for Yountville. We're taking a total bring it on cheer.
We're going to be
We're gonna be
cheerleaders.
Oh my God, that's so
We're gonna
great.
have 50 cheerleaders.
That's smart. Outside the box, outside the label.
And that's part of Wine
Exactly.
Club. That's part of Wine Club.
And also the spring pickup is the townwide garage sale. So you come to our house. We the whole town has garage sales. There were 60 of them last year. Started our house with a bar, a band, and a barbecue. And maybe we'll sell some crap that someone dropped off.
What's the date of that? I love garage sales.
It is the Saturday before Mother's Day. So
there's plenty of
you
time.
get a drink with purchase. You get a margarita. So and then you can go all over town, go shopping at garage sales, and then come pick up your
What's
wine.
the date? I'm there.
Whatever Mother's Day
Whatever
is,
the
Saturday.
day before
May?
Mother's Day.
May?
Yeah, May.
Yeah.
But people rent U-Hauls for this thing. They
It's a
rent
big
U-Hauls
deal.
and go garage sale to garage sale to garage sale.
And the band performs. So
Fat Ankle will be performing.
And here's another fact. You've met almost every single wine club member except for like 2.
Yeah, pretty much.
pretty much.
They've slept with how many? What?
Nah, they've all used my fucking guest bathroom. I'll tell you that.
They blew it up after that drink you were talking about, that cleansing.
Please
That
try
cleanse
it.
whiskey one.
It's so good. Master
I'm
Cleanse.
actually gonna-
Master Cleanse. That's what it was called.
I'm actually going to try it.
It's so good. Please.
Sounds good.
Sounds horrific. Andrew, where can people find and follow you?
On Instagram, Andrew Christian INTL, TikTok, the Andrew Christian.
And those TikToks are so fun.
They're a lot of work, but they're fun.
Yeah. Mike.
At Mike MGTV. What does it mean? Nothing.
It does. Now we found out the reality of you're bartending.
It means nothing. I made it when screen names were cool. My first screen name was Mike Likes Girls. I'm serious.
Wow.
Anyway.
All right. Well, this has been so much fun and so different for the show. I hope we addressed. I know we have pages of your questions. We couldn't get to them.
I got to unsend the link I sent to my mother. I'll tell you that.
No, it was great. It was great.
Yeah.
Oh, this is sad. This is sensitive.
I know. Believe me. We watched.
All right. Well, that's all, folks. It's always a grab bag of fun every week here on The Rocks. A big thank you to our engineer for today, Tony Sweet, the owner at UBN Go Studios, by the way. If you want to host your own podcast, you go to UBN Go in the heart of Burbank Media. You can also remote produce, right? Is that true? Yeah. Also, our social media clip editor, Alexis Mendez. Please like, share, subscribe so we can continue bringing this fabulous programming coming your way. Until next time, stay happy, stay healthy, stay sexy, and if you drink or just sip, stay tipsy. This has been another episode of On the Rocks. Tweet me and slide into my DMs on Twitter and Instagram at On the Rocks On Air. Find everything On the Rocks for free at OnTheRocksRadioshow.com. Subscribe, like, review, and share. Until next week, stay fabulous.